I am so honored to be in an environment where I can use this technology to help somebody that I don't even know hear a story that's absolutely astonishing and amazing. This guy's story, he's a guy from Ethiopia. He's a guy from Ethiopia, and he has a direct visit from Jesus of Nazareth 3 times. The guy, okay, here, take the mute off, take the mute off. Bam, 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 mute off.
Before I became prime minister, I was a communist.
Rewind 1.
Former Prime Minister of Ethiopia, Tamrat Lane. His story of false imprisonment and then literally meeting Jesus is worthy of its own
Before I
movie.
became prime minister, I was a communist revolutionary who led a rebellion army against the government, a military government, another communist government, and for 15 years in the mountains of Ethiopia. I organized that army and I led it, and with my friends. And after 15 years of war against the government army, we took power. We defeated that government, and my friend became president, and I was elected as prime minister.
Prime Minister of Ethiopia.
So I became prime minister for 5 years, but on the second year of my office, political difference of opinion was created between me and the president, who was my friend for many years. And because of that, my best friend was the president. He conspired against me because of political rivalry, and he sent me to jail. He put me to jail, accusing me of false accusations just to get rid of me. And then I became a political prisoner for 12 years.
The president puts the prime minister in jail.
When I was put to jail, I abandoned my communist ideology, which I gave life for communism, I can say, for more than 20 years, almost the whole of my life. But I was still an atheist when I was imprisoned. I did not believe in God. I did not believe in Jesus Christ. I had no experience of church, things like that. I had no experience of any Bible or any kind of religious. I was just a communist, an atheist, who gave his life for communists.
Give his life.
Which is an atheist. And who gave his life for freedom, for justice, up to the point of going to the mountains and fought with the government army. So I spent the first 5 years in prison. It was so difficult that I was desperate, and I even tried to commit suicide in the first few months, during the first few months in prison. I passed all that, and then I started searching for a new purpose for my life, because I lost my former purpose, which was communism, and I had nothing replacing that. So I had to search for a new thing for my life, new purpose, new values, new truths. So I went through this journey for about 5 years. studying
I'm recording.
philosophical things, studying religious books. I thought I would find my new purpose from there, but after 5 years, it couldn't help me. Anything couldn't help me in getting me out of my situation at that time, in finding a new purpose, a new thing, new life. So I was even more desperate. I was also very much revengeful against my friend who put me to jail. He was one of my best friends. We were together in the mountains for many years. We fought together, and he was my trusted friend, but he put me to jail because of political reasons, and because of that I was always thinking of even killing him and other friends of him. So, but on the 5th year, something very different and something miraculous happened in my life. I was sick and I had to be taken to a hospital, and in the hospital, the nurse that was treating me, she brought me a small tract, a small paper, and she gave it to me, which says few things. Like the first thing that I saw in that tract was saying, "Jesus loves you." And I started questioning, who is this Jesus who loves me? And then it says, Jesus is the only one who can give you a new life. And that set me to think about who this Jesus is and how he can give a new life, because that is like taking me to an answer for my 5-year question of having a new life, getting a new purpose for my life. So I started thinking about that almost the whole day, and I was asking myself about this Jesus who can give a new life for my life, about this Jesus who loves me, who is claimed to love me. And almost the whole day I was thinking about that without even having food or anything to do. I was just immersed in this idea of who is this Jesus. I want to know this Jesus who can give me a new life, if that is true at all, if at all. So almost the whole day I went through, and at one point towards the evening, I found myself on my knees on the floor, and I stretched my hands, and by way of prayer, which even for myself was surprising, because I had no idea about prayer before that my whole life. So I was reading that tract while I was on my knees and stretching my hands, and after reading the tract I say, okay, you Jesus, who claim to be Jesus and who claim to give a new life, that is what I am looking for all 5 years here in prison. So if you are real, would you come and show me how you give the life? So I was saying this again and again, repeatedly, for several hours, continually and repeatedly the same thing. I read that tract, and I say, you Jesus, who claim to give a new life for me, that's what I am looking for. So if you are real, come to me and show me. So after several hours of repeating this so-called prayer, I went to my bed and I slept, good sleep. But in the middle of the night, I suddenly woke up, and when I woke up, my room, I was by myself in a room as a prisoner, even though it was in a hospital. So my room was, I found out that my room was filled with light. And this light is a different kind of light, very powerful kind of light. And I slowly sat on my bed and started following what was happening. And that was strange for me. I had never had that kind of experience in my life. And I was also sure that I was awake, so I know everything, what was happening. So in the light, I saw these bubbles of colorful lights roaming around in the light. Different kinds of lights, very beautiful one. And after a little while, right in front of me where I sat on my bed, and it was a wall, just a wall made of rock and brick. From the wall, another light came up, a spot of light, but widening little by little to a circular kind of light. And now you can imagine that second light is within the first light, and the bubbles of lights are there still. And from that second light, a figure came out. It just little by little, small spot, but it became a figure, a person, standing from top to bottom, just from head to foot, in front of me, standing there. And I was very sure that it was a kind of person. The figure was personal. It was a person. It was not clear that I was not clear on the details of his faces or things like that, but the shape is definitely was a person. And that person was, it looks like he was made of light himself. So after a while, he said, "I am Jesus. Believe in me and follow me." And he said, "Yes, I am the only one who can give you the new life that you are looking for. And if you believe in me and follow me, I will give you the life that you are looking for. And even more, I give you the eternal life I have." And the voice that was coming out was not only from right in front of me, but even though the figure was there, the voice was coming as if it's coming from all directions in that room. And it was so gentle, a voice, but also very much powerful, that it pierces my whole body when he was speaking those words.
Gentle and powerful.
And after a while, he just went back. He vanished, and the lights, one after the other, got back, and the darkness came back. I was in the darkness, but I found myself, without even knowing, on the floor. I was sat on my bed, but after this thing, I found myself on the floor. I was there, shivering and shaking. The whole, all my body was shaking, and my body was just like glowing like a fire, and my tears were flowing. I was not conscious of all that. I mean, it was involuntary. The whole thing was involuntary. It was like that. And I spent the rest of the hours, I don't know how much hours, there on the floor, just shivering and shaking and sweating, and tears were flowing continuously, and I was like a fire. So then in the morning, I said to myself, I'm very much sure that I saw this thing, I saw this figure, and I'm also very much sure that I heard the words. And I said, but I didn't accept it. I said, I have to have this thing once more, if this is real. So understandably, my communist skeptic mind couldn't believe, even though I saw and even though I heard that thing. So what I did was, right from the beginning of the morning, I did what I was doing the previous day. I, on my knees, on the floor, stretching my hands, reading that tract, and saying the same thing that I was saying the previous day. Like saying, okay, you Jesus, if you are really the one who can give you the new life for me, and if you are really the one who said those things that I heard, then I want you to come again and show me. So it was like, even though I saw these things, I don't believe, but on the other hand, I wanted on my part to do all the things on my part so that I would challenge him. So almost all day, without even eating anything and without doing any other thing, continually, I was doing the same thing. On my knees, read the tract, say the same thing. You who claim to be Jesus, come back again. If you are real, come back again. So the next night, the same thing happened. The same light, same second light, same figure came and stood there, and he said the same thing. I am Jesus. Believe in me and follow me. If you believe in me and follow me, I am the only one who can give you the new life that you are looking for. Not only that, I will also give you the eternal life, but follow me. The word follow me was the key word all the time. And it was there every time he speaks. But that second night, he also added some things to me. He said, I will get you out of this place and I will send you to the world. You will carry my name and you will testify about me. And you will also testify, you will also tell to the world what I did and what I am going to do in your life. But believe in me and follow me. And he also said, don't be afraid. I am always with you. So it was like the don't be afraid thing that he said to me was a kind of an answer for the situation that I was in. All 5 years in that prison cell, I was afraid of not being killed. Every night I was thinking of somebody comes with his AK-47 and just shoot me and go. So when I see it later on, he was saying, don't be afraid of that. You'll not die, kind of thing. So I got that, same thing happened, but I still didn't say okay. So stubborn, so skeptic mind. So second day morning, I said, I did the same thing. I started doing the same thing. On my knees, praying, saying same words. Come back, and if you come back and if you are real, I will follow you, but I want to see you again, kind of things. So the third night, it happened again, for the third time in a row. It happened again, and when he came on the third night, he repeated the same thing from the beginning all the way. And he also told me some other things, like about my family. He told me that I will, don't worry about your family. I will take them to the place where they want to go. He didn't say me where, but the place where they want to go. And of course, later on, I knew that they came here in America. And he also told me I will join them. And I will get them again, and I will be with them. He also told me that after I joined them, I will get back to that place, which means Ethiopia. And he said, you will serve me here and to the world. So at that third night, I said, okay, Jesus, I surrender now. I know now that you are real. I know now that you have the life that I am looking for. So do whatever you like. Here is my life for you. I just vowed there that I will serve him, and I will follow him, and to let him do whatever he likes in my life.
Did you say that to him, or after he left, you prayed?
After he left.
So
He just said that for the third time, and he left. And I was there as the previous 2 nights on the floor, and I didn't even have idea what I have to do, and so on, sweating and so on. So I said this in the morning, as a matter of vowing and saying, okay, now I got it. So do whatever you like.
Is that the last time that's ever happened? Have you ever had anything like that?
No,
Again?
no, not again like that. In another form. After that, what I did is I wrote a small note about this thing, what happened, in very short note, and I gave that note to the nurse that gave me to the tract. I gave it to her, and the note basically says, I encountered this kind of thing, so I want to know more about this Jesus. So would you please get me some kind of book or any literature or something like that? Because I had no idea about the Bible. So after a few days, that nurse brought me a small pocket-sized Bible, hiding, of course, because she was strictly told that she wouldn't give me anything except medicines and so on. So she gave me, it's a pocket size, very small size, both Old and New Testament, in Ethiopian language. So she gave it to me, and when she gets back, for the first time in my life, the Bible was in my hands, and I opened it. And before that, before she left, she whispered to me, start from the Gospel of John. So, but I didn't go to searching for the Gospel of John. I just opened that. And when I opened it, it was almost in between, in the middle of the Bible, and that was a book of Psalms. And the first verse that struck my eyes was from chapter 119 of the book of Psalms, verse 71. And that became the first verse that I memorized. And it says, "It's good that I have been afflicted, so that I might learn your statutes." And I said, "What?" So I said, "Do I have to go all this through all this just to know you?" And I was saying to myself, jokingly that, Jesus, it was good, if you came when I was prime minister at that office, and it would have been fine, rather than going through this journey of, prison and so on, all these difficulties. So I went on the book of Psalms for the days that I stayed there in the hospital. I stayed for maybe 15 to 20 days more. All in all, I stayed for 25 days in that hospital. And I went on to the book of Psalms. It was beautiful for me. The book of Psalms has all the things